The NFL was supposed to be about power, precision, and control. But sometimes, the game goes way past the whistle. Helmets get ripped off, fists start flying, and the league turns into a gladiator arena. Today, we're reliving the craziest, most explosive fights in NFL history. From Myles Garrett's helmet swing to Andrew Johnson's fury, this is NFL's most insane fights ever caught on camera. And trust me, you'll want to watch till the end. Because one didn't just end a game, it changed the entire league. Now let's get one thing straight. Football isn't chess. It's controlled violence. Every play is a collision. But sometimes emotions boil over, and when that happens, the field becomes a battlefield. The NFL tries to clean up its image, but there's a reason fans can't look away when a fight breaks out. It's raw, it's primal. And in a sport built on pride, it only takes one shove to light a fuse. Fight 5. Antonio Brown's practice meltdowns. Before the games, before the touchdowns, there was chaos behind the scenes. Antonio Brown, one of the most gifted wide receivers in NFL history, and one of the most unpredictable. In 2018, reports started leaking from the Steelers' practice field. Brown was fighting with teammates, yelling at coaches, and even throwing footballs at them in frustration. At first, no one believed it. He was a star, too talented to lose control. But then the clips started coming out. You could see it. The sideline arguments, the shouting, the walkouts during practice. He clashed with quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, stormed off during drills, and eventually stopped showing up altogether. What started as small arguments turned into a full-blown meltdown. The kind that doesn't just hurt a player's image, it breaks a team from the inside. The Steelers' locker room was never the same again. And Antonio Brown? He became a symbol of how quickly greatness can fall apart when ego starts to win over discipline. Fight 4. Chicago Bears versus Miami Dolphins, 1983. Old school football was a different beast. No TikTok highlights, no brand deals, no mercy. Just raw muscle, pride, and a whole lot of pain. In 1983, the Bears and Dolphins didn't just play a game, they went to war. What started as shows after the whistle turned into full-on body slams on live TV. Helmets flew, tempers exploded, and referees completely lost control. You could see coaches screaming, players charging, and sideline chaos spilling onto the field. For a few minutes, it stopped looking like football and started looking like a riot in shoulder pads. By the end, flags meant nothing, penalties didn't matter, because this wasn't about winning anymore, it was about dominance. To this day, that night remains one of the wildest, dirtiest, and most unforgettable showdowns in NFL history. Fight 3. Raiders vs. Chiefs Brawl, 1970. If you've ever seen a bar fight, multiply that by 50, add shoulder pads, and you've got Raiders vs. Chiefs, 1970. This wasn't just a game, it was a battlefield. Benches cleared. Players sprinted across the field to throw punches. One Chief took a helmet to the ribs. A Raider ended up bleeding through his face mask. Coaches were screaming, fans were roaring, and the stadium felt like it might explode. The refs had no choice.
A highly touted Kansas City defense struck early. This interception by number 51 Jim Lynch led to a field goal by Jan Stenerud.
Double ejections everywhere, chaos ruling the turf. But here's the thing. This was the 70s Raiders. They didn't just survive chaos, they fed on it. It was violence, pride, and legacy, all wrapped into one brutal afternoon of football. Fight 2. Andrew Johnson vs. Cortland Finnegan, 2010. Next up, one of the cleanest punches ever thrown in NFL history. Andrew Johnson. Houston Texans. Cortland Finnegan. Tennessee Titans. Two great players, but total opposites. Johnson was quiet, composed, and focused. Finnegan, a professional irritator known for trash talk, cheap shots, and getting inside his opponent's head. And in 2010, he found the wrong opponent to mess with. During a routine play, Finnegan shoved Johnson after the whistle. Then another shove, then another. You could see it. Johnson had enough. He ripped off Finnegan's helmet, grabbed his jersey, and then it happened. 2 perfect punches, straight to the face. No hesitation, no fear. The crowd exploded. The sidelines emptied. It was chaos in slow motion. Referees rushed in, players surrounded them, but by then the damage was done. Johnson got fined $25,000, no suspension. Finnegan, bruised, embarrassed, and quiet for once. That fight became legendary, not because of the punishment, but because it showed something rare in football. The moment when calm finally snaps. Fight 1. Myles Garrett versus Mason Rudolph, 2019. Now we get to the one that shocked the entire league. November 14th, 2019, Browns versus Steelers. Only 8 seconds left. The game was already over, but tempers, they weren't. Myles Garrett brings down Mason Rudolph, a routine tackle. Then things take a turn. Rudolph grabs at Garrett's helmet, trying to rip it off in frustration. And in that instant, Garrett loses it. He yanks Rudolph's helmet clean off and swings it like a weapon. The hit connects. The crowd gasps. For a second, everything stops. Then chaos. Steelers linemen charge at Garrett. Players crash into each other. Helmets fly. Punches land. Referees completely lose control. The broadcast cuts away. Commentators are silent.
It's another one.
They're absolutely. I mean, this is multiple game suspension right here. It's just. I mean, it's. I hate that anybody even has to watch this.
Millions watching at home can't believe what they just saw. When it's finally over, Garrett is suspended indefinitely, the longest ban for on-field violence in NFL history. And that one swing? It didn't just define a season. It became the moment everyone remembers when football crossed the line. Fights like these are shocking, but they also show what happens when adrenaline, pride, and power collide. For every touchdown we cheer, there's a line that players can't cross. Because once that line breaks, even legends can lose everything in seconds. So what do you think? Should the NFL crack down harder on fights? Or is that raw emotion just part of what makes the game real? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because next week, we're covering the dirtiest hits that changed NFL rules forever. This is Football Explained 360, and this was the NFL's craziest fights caught on camera.